We're live. We are on. Okay, we're live. We are on Transparency and Merit.
We're live.
Yes, inflammatory talk. In our X channels, Walk Against the Woke, Mr. Midnight Movie, and also inflammatory talk. So I'm going to play a little song.
Yeah.
This is the Ballad of Harry Callahan, Paul Kersey, and Travis Bickle.
Harry with his magnum drawn, facing terror with the dawn. Paul with vengeance in his eyes, fighting crime beneath the skies. They walk the streets of fear, facing shadows drawing near. With every step and every fight, they did what they believed was right. Saw the city's gruesome slab underneath all lights and pain. He fought to cleanse the dirty rain. Men of justice, men of steel. In the twilight they reveal. Creating courage, standing tall. God is to save us all. They walk the streets of fear, facing shadows drawing near. With every step and every fight, they did what they believed was right. They walk the streets of fear, facing shadows drawing near. With every step and every fight, they did what they believed was right.
All right, already. Joey, have you seen all three? I mean, have you seen Dirty Harry, Death Wish, and Taxi? What the hell's the name? I can't even remember the name of the damn movie, Schnoovy.
Okay. Can you try that one more time?
Have you seen all three movies?
I've seen two of the three, you said.
Yeah.
I don't know what the third one is.
Okay, well, Dirty Harry was first, 1971.
Saw it.
Then came Death Wish,
Yes.
1974. Did you see that
Although
one?
I could see Death Wish again. I have not seen it in a long time.
Yeah. And then Taxi Driver was 1976.
Which I've probably seen the most of those three movies. I've seen that like maybe 3-4 times.
Yes.
So,
And I think
Death Wish. Do you think Death Wish? Does it hold up? And is it worth going back and watching it now?
I think it is to a degree. I mean, like, I think the script we're writing for the Dirty Harry or the Callahan, for me, it has characters in it that, you know, I'm still in the process. Number one, it has a character like Paul Kersey, except he is an older veteran, and one character that's kind of combined, because I think, you know, I'm working on also the origins of Scorpio, who he was before. Drum is kind of an incel, and he's kind of like a taxi driver to a degree. At first, he's about free love, and when he can't get the free love, kind of that's when he turns into Scorpio. That's kind of what I'm working on. Anyway,
Scorpio. Hey, Scorpio.
Hey, Scorpio.
Hey, Scorpio. We'll come out and play.
Joey, I'm going to just talk about the ADL and who they side with and the behavior that they deal with.
It's like going to the dentist listening to this shit.
Let me show you who they championed, because
All right.
there used to be a lot of criticism of this kind of talk, and then it became kind of open. So let me play 5 tips to be an ally. And this is Francesca Ramsey. She kind of got ran off the internet, and then she made a mean ass, and then she's protected by the establishment. Hopefully we won't get any strikes, but this woman is a toxic, in my opinion, a toxic egotist, perhaps even a full-blown narcissist, but that has yet to be seen. But I call this the series of toxic woke of cluster B wokeness, or at least cluster B wokeness behavior, Joey.
Okay, let's see it.
Little Red Riding Hood. Let's start the story in different.
Oh God, shut up, old lady.
He's gonna get seriously
Her in my goo pool.
Hey friends, so I'm trying something different with my setup and I don't know if it's working, but you will deal. Imagine your friend is building a house and they ask you to help.
Now this is about being an ally to black and brown people. Like, we need to, this is how white people are supposed to act. Let's continue. And this is part of the ADL. This is what the ADL, they don't want any criticism. So let's continue.
You've never built a house before, so it'd probably be a good idea for you to put on some protective gear and listen to the person in charge. Otherwise, someone's going to get seriously hurt.
This seems to go along with Marxist indoctrination, kind of a Maoist thing, how you should behave. I don't know if you have any comment on this, Joey, but let's continue.
Look, I'm helping. It's the exact same idea when it comes to being an ally. An ally is a person that wants to fight for the equality of a marginalized group that they're not a part of. We need your help building this house, but you probably should listen so you know what to do first. Let's do this. So here are my 5 tips for being a good ally. Understand your privilege. Now, a lot of people get hung up on the word privilege, so let me break it down for you tonight. Privilege does not mean that you are rich, that you have.
Okay, you just said shut up, Joey. Anything else besides shut up? Understanding your privilege.
No, I was just cringing at what she's saying.
Can we believe that this is why I walk against the woke? These people should have no, and these people want protection from criticism, and there used to be criticism all over the place.
These people are being encouraged to speak in this way, and it's just stop.
Chairman Meow told me to be a good ally.
Just stop it.
Let's continue with the cringeness.
All right. Go on. Play more of this.
That everything's been handed to you and you never have to struggle or work hard. All it means is that there are some things in life that you will not experience or ever have to think about just because of who you are.
That's an assumption.
Kind of like those horses that have those blinders on. They can see just fine. There's just a whole bunch of stuff on the side.
The myopic one is you. You're the myopic one. You have blinders on. You can't see past your own nose, Francesca. And by the way, Francesca Ramsey, she's back. Vomit, vomit, vomit.
They don't even know exists. So for example, there are currently 29 states where you can legally be fired for being gay. And there are 34 states where
strikes me as someone who has a big team behind her.
You know what?
And it's probably getting stronger by the day.
We need to take, here's the deal. Why I walk against the woke. Look, you are not, if you're going to tell people how to act and behave, you are not above criticism. And this is why I'm against the left. Angela seems to be in favor of this kind of behavior.
For being trans. Now, as a straight cis woman, those are things that I don't have to ever think about if I don't want to. I'm not going to be fired because I'm straight.
Most of the time you're fired because you suck.
I can be fired because I'm cis. So it makes sense that before I can fight for the rights of others, I have to understand what rights I have and others don't. That's privilege. Listen and do your homework. It sounds like a no-brainer, but it's not possible for you to learn if you aren't willing to listen. So you got to know when to zip up the lip up. I don't.
Tell me to be quiet. Here we go.
No, you get what I mean. But that's the thing that's so cool about social media. There are so many people sharing their stories all around the world and connecting with people that they normally would never get a chance to without the power of the internet. So do your homework. Start reading blogs, tweets, news articles, and stories so that you can get caught up on the issues that are important to the communities that you want to support. Speak up, but not over. If the fight for equality...
Speak up, but not over. Here we go.
Girl group, the ally wouldn't be the lead singer or the second lead singer. They'd be Michelle. An ally's job is to support. You want to make sure that you use your privilege and your voice to educate others, but make sure...
A lot of assumptions. Your privilege. Oh, yes. Here we go.
Do it in such a way that does not speak over the community members that you're trying to support or take credit for things that they are already saying. This isn't Mario Kart. Stay in your lane. Realize that you're going to make mistakes and apologize when you do. Nobody's perfect. Unlearning problematic things.
These people are not forgiving, by the way. And this was 9 years ago. This has gotten progressively worse. And I don't want to play too much of this woman, but she is a vile, egocentric, probably a narcissist, because she never apologizes for any of her. I mean, I've done the Francesca Ramsey saga. She is not, she is not apologetic, and she has gained her strength through groups like the ADL. And this is why the ADL must be Bud Lighted and has to be intelligent. All right, Joy, I'm going to play this. What is privilege? Here we go. Let me see what this nonsense is. More commercials.
23 awards and the most royal party on Broadway.
Some people are born into families where they have to walk miles just to get water. All I have to do is turn on a faucet. That's privilege.
If you have ever tried to change your speech, if you get embarrassed about your clothes or how, if you could never think twice about how.
All right, I'm just going to.
I think privilege is when some people have some things and other people don't have things.
I feel privilege is something that you don't even really have control over.
I think it'd be silly for me to say I don't have a fair amount of privilege, considering like the country I live in and the job I get to do and the college I was allowed to go to.
I suppose being a white male will help me end up somewhere toward the steps back from being gay.
I don't think I'll make it to the front. Maybe be in the middle. That's just a gut feeling.
All right, so here we go.
What bowling league is that guy in? Ugh.
Okay, here's 1 minute. What is white privilege? Here we go. Oh, here's Timmy Wan. I did a whole show. I actually was able to converse probably about 10 to 15 years ago. I was able to converse with him. He won't converse with anybody today because he knows he gets taken to school. He's a liar and a scumbag. But let's go on with Tim Wise. Let's go with this 1 minute thing. What is white privilege?
What is white privilege? White privilege describes advantages and benefits people have simply because they are white.
I wonder where the proof of this, and also they disabled comments here as well. And by the way, the ADL always disables comments, and they are part of the white privilege buffoonery.
That's all new. It was not like that just a few years back even.
Yeah.
You could at least join the conversation and interact, and that has been taken away, and it's blatantly been just taken away.
Not only did the scumbag ADL take away, the comments, but they also took away the thumbs up and thumbs down.
Right. They've taken away all the interactivity.
Yeah. And they really believe that people cannot decipher for themselves what is good and bad information. They're disgusting. We need to build something away from people like this. Just like my goal is like, hey, we want to Bud Light the people who don't think that our voice is welcome. Mm-hmm. And we want to build, an alternative for free thinkers, for people who want to be able to decipher information for themselves, who want a free and open internet,
And I hate to say it, but for the first time, I've actually seen very clear evidence, to me at least, that I've been shadow banned. It's unbelievable.
Oh,
it's blatant, and it's right in my face, and I'm like very frustrated by it. But yeah, definitely my little puny, tiny, insular voice has been shadow banned.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
But here we go.
Which occurs on many levels in society. It is often not seen by white people because it's the experience they know. White privilege is interacting with the police and other authorities without fear of being profiled based on skin color.
Okay, let's, like I said, this is very myopic. Just as myopic is Francesca Ramsey.
The worst.
It's living in a neighborhood without facing discrimination. Having parks and grocery stores nearby.
Yeah, why aren't there parks and because there's a, again, this is a very myopic look at things. And again, why we want, 2020, in my opinion, really showed how, the left really took out their hammer fist upon society with the wearing of, with the pandemic, and the viciousness and the vileness of their behavior is one of the reasons why we need to walk against the woke. We need to build an economic strength. And again, we just need to, like I said, they certainly don't want to engage with us. So why should we want to even spend money with these people? Eat dirt before you deal with scumbags like these.
It's knowing you will be
They do have quite a bit of power, though. They have so much money.
Well, that's one of the reasons why we got to get a game plan on how to how to resist these scumbags.
Recognizing white privilege acknowledges the injustices that Black, Indigenous, and people of color experience that white people don't.
Oh my God, does this woman make you want to just take a big shanty? Unbelievable.
It does not mean white people live free of hardships, but that racism isn't one of them.
Give me a break.
I just pooped my pants watching that.
All right, I'm gonna go, it's just so much nonsense. I'm gonna go right to this. This is White Privilege Sociology Live. Here we go.
White privilege. What? What is white privilege? Before we discuss it, let's talk about how people respond to it. Some people just
you'll see comments turned off. These people do not, by the way, want to engage with you. They want, and they don't, they don't want questions. They just want obedience. That's why I call woke has become moral authoritarianism disguised as virtue. These people want you to go to their church. It's a religion and it's a faith. And I am against it. You can't compel me to go to your church. Joey, do you have any comment on that?
No. I just want to yell at these people, though. These are the people who, if you're at a concert, will tell you to turn it down when you should be turning it up.
Yeah, I mean, they tell you they want to tell you how to act and behave. They're control freaks, Joey. 2020 showed us the control freaks. So let's continue with these control freaks. Stop telling us what to do.
Yes, stop living.
Don't tell me I have privilege. How do you know?
Yeah.
How do you know what privilege I have? You're making a lot of assumptions. Here we go.
Oh, they do make quite a bit of really awful assumptions.
Hey, that's not me. I don't have privilege just because I'm white. Others might say, heck yeah, white privilege exists. The fact is that there has been systematic rights and unearned privileges that groups of people have enjoyed, such as the rights and privileges through Jim Crow laws.
Ridiculous comment.
All right, Jim Crow laws ended over 50 years ago.
In 1890 and lasting until the passing of the Civil Rights Act in 1964, separate but equal enforced segregation. Of course, not much was equal. Inequality existed in facilities like public bathrooms or schools, with those facilities for non-whites being inferior in quality. At the same time, bank loans and housing practices also contributed. For example, with the help of the Federal Housing Administration, areas of cities were mapped to indicate which areas were denied or approved housing loans. Those that were deemed the highest risk and often denied loans were inner city areas populated by African Americans. This practice was called redlining, and over time taught people how to perceive and feel about people based on the color of their skin. There are still lasting effects of those privileges.
And again, we'll go into a more complex issue on both sides of the redlining issue. And there's a lot of myths. That woman speaks the truth. Give me a break.
Today. So, while a person who identifies as white may not feel that they have privileges based on the color of their skin, white individuals today benefit from a system that perpetuated inequality long before their time. So, now that we know it's hard to discuss, what is white privilege? This is a term that has been widely discussed in the 20th century and became popular in academic circles when Peggy McIntosh wrote her article on male and white privilege in 1988. In this article, McIntosh discusses the concept of white privilege and lists 46 different ways that she benefits from being white. According to McIntosh, she has...
Again, why isn't this being challenged in academic circles? And these people are very vicious when you try to challenge them. These, and I'm not saying everything that they say isn't a lie or BS, but again, try challenging them, see what happens. These people are not tolerant people. They're very violent, very vindictive, very vile, disgusting people, and they have shown how vile and disgusting they are.
Come to see white privilege as an invisible package of unearned assets that I can count on cashing in each day, but about which I was meant to remain oblivious. White privilege is like an invisible, weightless knapsack of special provisions, assurances, tools, maps, guides, code books, passports, visas, clothes, compass, emergency gear, and blank checks. If a person is not white, these unearned privileges cannot be counted on. Among her examples are instances such as stepping up in a challenging situation and not having to be a credit to her race, or being pretty certain that her skin color will be fairly close to the color of
a Band-Aid? Are you kidding me? They had okay, that was another stupid thing. These people are so moronic. I hope this isn't. I hope my tax dollars aren't paying for this dribble.
Colored Band-Aid. Recent research shows that white privilege may be a hard pill to swallow for those that identify as white. A study at Stanford University shows that white individuals cite personal hardships to help maintain a positive image of themselves and perhaps to enjoy the material benefits associated with that privilege. In other words, white individuals do not see how they may benefit from society socially constructing race. I know that as a white individual, when I walk down a street and someone does not say hi to me, I don't have to wonder if it's because of the color of my skin.
How do you know? That's another assumption.
Or I know that when I'm buying items such as soap or shampoo at a big box store, that there will be a full aisle of products to meet.
Hey, you know what's happening now? Now all our stuff you got to go under lock and key to get. Joey, when I was at the store getting my medication, Joey saw a dude just run out of the store robbing stuff. Right, Joey?
Yeah, it happened right there at the CVS.
Some Schmuckstein just ran out. Give me a break. People are morons. What are you, imbeciles?
The worker just said, don't come back.
How can these imbeciles, these morons, these midwits have power, Joey? What is you're an academic? You've been in academia longer than I have. What gives these? How do these midwits get power?
Whew. They've been there quite a long time. They've been there for a while. But I don't know the exact mechanism for how the shift in power works, but things were aligned perfectly for this moment. All for the last, I don't know, however, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, who knows? perfectly aligned.
Yeah, Joe, these midwits have basically taken control over society. I'm going to play this Peggy McIntosh facing her own race. And this is a woman, you look at her face, and she looks like this woman. Peggy McIntosh looks like she hasn't seen penis since the Truman administration.
I don't come in to their schools. Teachers who think.
Look at that face. Again, I don't think she's had wiener.
Oh, what a shame I put him. Oh, my goodness.
This woman looks like she hasn't seen wiener since the Truman administration. She looks like Harry Truman in drag. Drop the bomb on me, baby. Here we go.
That education isn't working for all of the students. Ask whether they can come to the Seed Summer Workshop.
Oh, God, look at that smile. Do you see those nicotine stains on her teeth? Quit smoking, lady. You're going to get cancer. Hopefully. I'm kidding.
My subconscious knew perfectly well what my advantages were relative to my African American friends whose stories I knew. Now, I had been listening to their stories, but I had
Listen to their stories. Don't think it might be a lot of caca.
been thinking in this way. How terrible for them.
Look again. You see right here where the comments are turned off? They don't want to accept anything.
No comments.
I'm putting a thumbs down. Joey, I put a thumbs down. I want to put another thumbs down on this video. I want to put about 30 to 50. This thing probably has about 8,000 thumbs down, 119 likes, and 20,000.
I don't ever want a video like that showing up on my timeline.
Oh my God. Here we go.
I had never thought how exempt for me that I don't have those run-ins. How exempt for me. And I began to accumulate this list. After 3 months, a voice in me said, Peggy,
She looks like about
Good God.
She looks like eight out of the last 10 first ladies.
I would say if I had to be married to that woman, I don't want to say anything about deleting myself, but is seppuku? No, I won't even say, but Jesus Christ, look at this woman and talking about privilege. You definitely don't have pretty girl privilege. God, you're so old and you're a little Stalinist and you look like Harry Truman in drag. Drop the bomb. She's dropping BS bombs on everybody.
Important work you'll do in your life. So underlying Seed, which is my major project with K through 12 teachers, is the idea.
This woman is educating teachers K through 12 about privilege. They're indoctrinating them. This is disgusting. We need to defund the education system. This is vile. Walk against the woke. March against the midwits. Please join me.
Everybody will be benefited if we lessen privilege systems in the curriculum, the teaching methods, and the whole school climate. I believe we can change the world.
I bet she's wearing rainbow socks.
In such a way that the basic floor is put under humanity.
You know what I want to do at the end of her speech is just get a big bowl of yogurt, and toss it in her face and go, how do you like my yogurt? How do you like my yogurt, lady? I want to just put a big bowl of yogurt. I just want to get a thing of yogurt and then throw a spoon right near her chin and mouth. So you got your job? Tell us how you got your job. Yogurt face. Okay.
Food, clothing, shelter.
Yogurt face.
Water.
Now, I'm with Chairman Meow. Look at this. Look at this comment. This is beautiful. Let it all burn. Yes. Let it all burn. This is where it's going.
I just want to put yogurt on this woman's face.
I believe it's possible for everybody.
Let's take a look here. Oh, here we go. This was when Dr. Phil got really stupid 5 years ago.
Advantage or immunity granted white privilege and what it is and what it is not. Now, first definition. Privilege is a special right or advantage or immunity granted or available only to a particular person or group. Now, when we say privilege, that just means that it's something that exists. It's not something that somebody created or grabbed, right?
Think about the famous story about David Foster Wallace. He said 2 fish are in the ocean swimming along.
I want to throw yogurt on this guy's faces too, because how did he get his job?
The elderly fish coming the other way, and he says, "Good morning, boys. How's the water?" They go along a little piece, and they go, "What's water?" When you're in it, you don't recognize that you're in it. You derive your existence from it. You derive your sustenance from it. So it's a set of practices and privileges based upon skin color. It's based upon assumptions about who people are. So that's what privilege is.
Yeah. All right. And we're talking here that the privilege is, we said it goes to a group or an individual.
Yeah, we have a guy talking on, okay, let's hear him talk to the people on thing white privilege.
Hey, I'm here in Bank today to ask people, does white privilege exist? Here we go. You're looking very dapper today. One quick question. Do you think, yeah? Oh, okay. A lot of my friends say that we live in a white supremacist capitalist world. Would you agree? Do you think that white privilege exists?
No.
Why is that?
It's a theory perpetuated by people who hate white people.
I know someone who's got an MBE and is made a Lord Lieutenant of the county, and only because he's coloured. I know that for a fact.
So it's easier now if you're black.
Oh, this person's in the UK. All right, Joe, you know what? I don't know if I want to go any longer on this, but I think we should Bud Light the ADL, get rid of them. Hopefully,
it's important that we explain that we're trying to get people to speak with their wallets. It's really the last frontier of effect. I really believe that. I really think that we're running low on ways to reach out and strike, and I think that's the way to go.
Joey, the ADL's role in shaping online disclosure, and I also believe the color of change, their role in what they believe is combating hate speech and anti-Semitism and misinformation online. Content moderation. The ADL has advocated for and engaged with social media platforms to refine their content moderation policies, aiming to reduce hate speech and misinformation. Critics argue this might lead to over-censorship or bias, which has happened, by the way. Now, the ADL, along with the color of change, basically, they told Facebook to that if they didn't change the moderation, they would face. I heard that they faced over $60 billion loss in revenue. I found that hard to believe, but if that's true, and they have that much power, that is too much power for a myopic.
Yeah, that's way too much power.
Yeah. And I think I'll play. Hold on a second here. I think I'm going to play the whole Charlottesville. And we're going to get another commercial.
God created the heavens and the earth.
Politicians lie. We all know that. This is not an indictment of all politicians. It's simply part of the game. It's our job.
Of course they lie. And let's be honest, on both sides.
As informed citizens to figure out the truth. And that's where journalists and the media come in. They are supposed to help us ferret out fact from fiction. So when they get a fact wrong, that's bad. When they get a fact wrong, know it's wrong, and don't correct it, that's worse. That's not getting a fact wrong. That's a lie. And that's journalistic malfeasance. The best, or maybe worst, example of this followed a presidential press conference at Trump Tower on Tuesday, August 15th, 2017. You remember what happened that previous weekend. A group of white supremacists held a white pride rally in Charlottesville, Virginia. The ostensible reason was to protest the removal of a statue of Confederate General Robert E. Lee. An Antifa group showed up to counter-protest. The mayor and the police were totally unprepared to deal with the violence that ensued.
And I just want to say that this is, I believe, when the start of censorship actually started to happen online. I mean, it started to happen, I think, around 2015. A lot of HR departments started to make a hammer. This wasn't a swell of American people who were against what was going on online with regards to censorship. I don't believe it's ever had a very populist movement. It's more of an inside thing, but I don't think it's gotten popular support.
Tragically, a young woman, Heather Heyer, was run over and killed by a neo-Nazi. The press conference itself was raucous. The media was antagonistic. The president was combative. Out of it all, one phrase eclipsed the thousands of words exchanged. The media reported that President Trump described neo-Nazis as very fine people. Only he didn't. In fact,
yeah, this is the lie of the left. I mean, again, regardless of how you deal with that, I mean, and the liars are winning right now.
He didn't even hint at it. Just the opposite. He condemned the neo-Nazis in no uncertain terms. So then, who were the fine people he mentioned? The answer? He was referring to another group of Charlottesville demonstrators who came out that weekend. Protesters who wanted the Robert E. Lee statue removed, and protesters who wanted to keep the statue and restore the park's original name. This is what President Trump said about those peaceful protesters. You also had some very fine people on both sides. You had people in that group that were there to protest the taking down of, to them, a very, very important statue, and the renaming of a park from Robert E. Lee to another name. A few moments later, in case there would be any misunderstanding, he makes his meaning even more explicit. I'm not talking about the neo-Nazis and the white nationalists. They should be condemned totally.
You know, I really don't understand how lies like this, and again, I'm not, necessarily the greatest. I'm not, the greatest fan of PragerU or Trump, but I just see that, I just see that why does a lie like this ever, get around where he obviously did not say, that neo-Nazis were fine people. It's such a lie. And yeah, it is boomer. That is true. But they're still like not PragerU or the ADL. Joey, do you have anything to say before I perhaps call this show a day?
No, I have nothing left to say because you've said it all, and I think we're done. Things are ugly. It's just ugly right now.
I want to play a little bit of a song here. Hopefully, I don't get a commercial in between here. Well, we get a commercial here every time we get a commercial. And I want to say the reason why this is relevant is this is what I believe about the left. They don't want, they don't want the world watching what they do.
be able to lose yourself on Skag and skip out for beer during commercials because the revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be brought to you by Xerox in 4 parts without commercial interruptions.
The revolution is televised. I mean, the revolution is televised. The resistance to the revolution is being censored. They are, why I say woke is moral authoritarianism disguised as virtue is the woke won. Woke leftists have won. They can't even be criticized. Try criticizing them, and you get your comments shadow banned at best. Sometimes they turn off comments altogether because, Joey, they are afraid of the common man and woman in this country. They can't handle it.
It's ridiculous.
And leading the charge by John Mitchell, General Abrams, and Spyro Agnew. Teen Hogmaws confiscated from the Harlem Sanctuary. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be brought to you by the Schaefer or War Theater and will not star Natalie Woods and Steve McQueen or Bullwinkle and Julia. The revolution will not give your mouth sex appeal. The revolution will not get rid of the nub. The revolution will not make you look 5 pounds thinner because the revolution will not be televised, brother.
Yeah, you know what? Your views won't be televised. Not only will your views not be televised, but the internet will censor it. So let's
all right.
Let me play okay, Joey, anything to add? You said I've said it all.
No. I think we're about I'm about done. Yeah, I can't deal.
All right. This is Dirty Harry versus Rambo. I don't know how good the song is, but here we go. All right, this song's not good. We're going to go with Clash of the Psychos. Here we go.
Smile cuts deeper than a weird gesture. Painted insanity, chaos, cynical. Laugh that go on until throats emote. Two maniacs clash, streets turn red. Riddles and riddles who ends up dead. Pistol gets pushed, line terror unfolds. White villains and madness repose. Sand train screams echo through the night. Psycho sniper, putting peace in my sight. 50 cal message, take your circus back. For your painted face hits a gun attack. Bullet battling won't dead my parade. Your nightmare city turns to arcade. Bang, bang, click, just a prelude to country still doomed by the light of the moon. Cross gets coming, terrorizes more.
All right, guys, like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below.